Yes, people, welcome to Crime Daily. A devil worshipper who murdered one sex worker, tried to stab another to death, and attacked a third in just 4 hours may have become a serial killer if he had not been caught or caught heard. Brian Segundo, 26, was seen beating Teresa Gordon, 44, through the door of his white van minutes before he stabbed her to death as a sacrifice of an innocent. After being spotted by the local resident, he drove off with Miss Gordon in the van and the doors flapping behind him. 2 days later, her body was found in wooded area in Burnt Farm Ride in Enfield, North London. Hours before the killing on August the 3rd, 2020, Segundo filmed himself having sex with a woman and then told her to grab 2 kitchen knives and join him on a demonic mission. Segundo of Gilbert Street, Enfield, denied these crimes but was convicted of murder, attempted murder, rape, 2 counts of kidnap, one count of threatening another with a weapon and making a threat to kill. After he was convicted, Judge John Hillen praised the excellent police work, which brought him to justice and said, "It may well be that a serial killer is being caught on day one." The judge said it was a Ripper-type case in which the offender is being caught at the outset. Judge Hillen said Segundo will be sentenced to a minimum of 30 years and he is also considering whether he should be given a whole life order. "When someone comes to consider the release of Mr. Segundo, I will be long dead," said Judge Hillen. Secondo's first victim was a sex worker he picked at a BP garage in 4th Street, Edmonton, and took to his flat on Princess Avenue, Muswell Hill on August 2nd, 2020. She said in a statement, "We were lying on the bed and Brian started to say lots of weird things. His demeanor would go from being quite light to suddenly aggressive. He was talking about devils and demons and how he worshipped the devil. He told her he wanted to kill her innocent together with her in the country." Segundo filmed them having sex together on his phone, which was recovered by the police near to where Miss Gordon's body was found. As she performed oral sex on him, he told the woman, "Repeat after me, I am the devil's child." He then makes her say, "I sold my soul to the devil." The following day, Segundo called her repeatedly, telling her they had to complete the mission. The woman said, "He told me to bring 2 kitchen knives. I told him that I didn't have any knives and I didn't want to kill anyone, but she agreed to meet him and got into the van near the 4th Street garage." Segundo pulled out a knife and told her, "I've got you now, you're not going anywhere." He added, "If you move, I'm gonna effing kill you." The woman was so terrified she jumped out of the van while it was moving. The next victim, who cannot be named, was repeatedly stabbed and raped after she got into the van near the 4th Street garage just before midnight. She said in a statement, "All of a sudden the male held a knife to the front of my neck and said something like, 'This is what's going to happen. I am going to rape you and I am going to enjoy raping you and you will do what I will say or I will kill you.' The male then kept asking me if I wanted to die. I could feel something pressed to the front of my neck. I started performing oral sex on the male whilst he was driving. He moved the knife from the front of my neck to my gut. I could feel the knife pushing against my gut area. The male seemed to enjoy telling me the knife was there and he kept asking me if I wanted to die." She managed to undo her seatbelt and tried to open the passenger door to jump out, Prosecutor John Price said. It was then he started stabbing her with his knife. He did so several times. The woman suffered 7 wounds, 2 each to her neck and 2 to her lower face, to her chest and 1 to her shoulder. She was then later seen staggering into the road by a police officer, bleeding heavily from her neck and sobbing, "I've been stabbed, can someone help me?" Later that night, local resident Antonis called the police after he heard cries of help at the back of his home in New Park Avenue, Palmer's Green. The same resident Antonis could see a white van parked in an alley. Standing adjacent to the open front passenger door of the van had been a young black man who was striking at someone or something inside the van through the open door, Mr. Price said. This man had then got back into the driver's seat after being seen by Antonis at his window and realising he had been seen by him. Antonis then called the police, but by the time they had got there, he had left the scene in his van. The woman he had seen was Miss Gordon. Her body was found by a cyclist in Burnt Farm Ride, Enfield, 3 days later on the morning of Thursday, August 6th. The partial plate number that Antonis provided cross-referenced with camera records in the Enfield area. Police records were discovered of this vehicle being twice recently reported as abandoned in Gilbert Street, Enfield, by people who lived there. On August the 4th, police recovered a Ring.com doorbell CCTV footage from an address in this street, which showed a slim young black male getting into the van and driving it away. Mr. Price added, as a result of seeing that man driving the van, he became the main suspect of the investigation. Separately, a police officer known to the first victim was asking questions about the name of the man who had attacked her. The victim said that his name was Brian and had his phone number saved in her mobile. A subscriber inquiry revealed it was an EE contract phone and it had the subscriber's name, Mr. Ryan Sekendo of 63 Gilbert Street, Enfield, Mr. Price said. 63 Gilbert Street is the home address of the defendant's family. Sekendo repeatedly searched for news of the murder and Googled how long does DNA last on clothes. He was arrested in the early hours of August the 7th after leaving his home and getting into a blue BMW car. He denied murder, attempted murder, rape, 3 counts of kidnap, 2 of threatening another woman with a weapon and making a threat to kill, but claimed he was not the man in the white van. Jurors were told that less than 30 minutes after the attack on the first victim, Sekendo lured another sex worker into his van. He refused to give her the money up front and she also jumped out of the van when he pulled a knife out, it was claimed. The jury could not decide on allegations of kidnap and threatening that woman with a weapon after more than 26 hours of deliberation and were discharged from giving verdicts. Sekendo will be sentenced on March the 18th after the preparation of psychiatric reports. He showed no trace of emotion as he was led away. Another crazy one there, some real sickos in the world, yeah, but people don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, check back for more, yeah, peace.